Join Bob Kolazarik as he welcomes a diverse array of guests to the enlightening talk show, Greetings from the Ashram. In each episode, Bob sits down with experts and practitioners from the world of complementary healing modalities, spirituality, and holistic wellness to delve into the transformative power of these practices. From ancient traditions to cutting-edge therapies, Greetings from the Ashram offers viewers an insightful and uplifting journey into the realms of mind, body, and spirit. So now, please welcome your host, Bob Kolazarik.
Hello, everyone. Namaste and welcome. I am Bob Kolazarik, and you are watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. Thanks for tuning in. My guest this week is Vandana Sinha. She's a deep meditator and energy worker, someone after my own heart. Over the last 3 decades, she's explored and mastered various modalities. As a natural energy channel, she's divinely guided in her work, and she knows her purpose on earth, which is to drive her to share her knowledge and skills through her many empowerment programs. So please welcome Vandana to the show.
Hi, Bob. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so grateful to have you here. I'm so excited. I've been, following you a little bit and watching your work and seeing what you do. And so thank you for coming on the show with me. So usually I like to start out with people because I have a lot of different energy workers and I'm pranic healer. I know many as I'm one of those. So we talk a little bit about how we got started. But can you share how you got started with your energy work and what initially attracted you to? Did you get started with Reiki first? How did this all come about for you?
So I was rather young when I started, and frankly, I should, credit my mom for that. So she just said, Reiki was just becoming a fad in those days, and so she suggested that I should do a course. And initially, I did resist, but I said okay, and went ahead and did the course. It was quite intriguing, actually, when I did that class. You could actually sense your energy fields, so it was quite, it was interesting. But even then, I did understand, I did recognize that there are energy fields that one can basically sense and feel, but I wasn't so ready for the place that I am in today. So it's a 30-year long journey. I took my own time to slowly wake up. I learned many things along the way, but it's a journey. So that's really how it started for me so many years ago.
It is a journey, and so you got started with Reiki. Is that one of the first things you did? So you were able to kind of feel the energy right off the bat, because it took me like a couple years to really start being able to scan effectively. Now I'm pretty good at it, but like you, I was like, I don't know, but my story is a little bit different. I fell into it maybe 5-6 years ago when I really started practicing the energetic arts, but it's been a long, slow awakening for me as well. So I think that's kind of um, you know,
Yes.
with you. Um, so you have a lot of, when did you find pranic healing? You've done angel healing, Akashic records. Kind of walk us through these,
Yes.
your exploration of these different healing arts.
Sure. So everything I think is all, predestined, synchronized when it has to fall into your life, right? So Reiki started so many years ago. I did recognize, I did understand that it is something that we need to kind of use, feel. But I left it at that. Even when I learned it initially, I kind of walked away from it, saying that, I'm too young for all this. This is all for old people. I can't do it.
Like
That's really
me.
what I told. That's really what I told my mom. It's good for you. Yes, I do know, but I good for you, not for me at this stage. I'm not like this. I was a very cool kind of girl in those days. So it was not cool to do Reiki. So that's really what happened with me then. And then many years, what really happened is after I recognized that this works, I did have my Reiki teacher as my mentor for a long time. So if I needed anything, I would tell her, I'll pick up the phone and I'll tell, you know what, I am in this kind of an issue or this kind of a trouble. Could you just send me some Reiki? And she would do distant healing. And then, so that continued for a few years till I went ahead and then mastered, went into the master level with Reiki. I did all those levels a few years later. That happened. I stayed with it for a long, long time. And then 2005, 4 to 6, 2004 to 2006, I went ahead and I don't know why. I simply got into pranic healing like a maniac. I went and did level after level, level after level, level after level, till I did the Arhatic yoga. I
Oh, are
finished
you
all
are
the
you
way.
a Aromatic yogi too?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes,
that's fantastic. I didn't know that. I am as well.
yes. Congratulations. So we're on the same from the same boat. So that happened, and those 2 3 years were also very transformative, and I started channeling energy very beautifully during those days. It started happening, I was exploring, I was loving it, and then that continued. From that was around 2006 onwards, and then I went through a lot of a crisis around 2007 to, let's say, 2010. I went through multiple miscarriages between
Mm,
between my two children, and that is the time when I started questioning things in life. And so when I started questioning, I started reading, I started exploring. I wanted an answer as to why I was going through these things. Otherwise, life was perfect, and I was using whatever I knew of the energy field, energy work. I would use it for material stuff in those days, like, okay, I get this or I get that, whatever little. So I have been a manifester throughout my life, but initially, it was all for the material stuff, the good stuff that one thinks is good,
yeah.
And when I went through that phase is when I really went deep into the spiritual side of things. I read many things. I went through a lot of regression therapies, understanding, trying to seek my answers. And basically, I did get some fantastic answers which I'm able to like put together today. And I had a child after that who's like, so when I went into this final pregnancy, which seemed suddenly very magical and smooth, is when I was so thrilled that I started programming the child. I suddenly figured that this is going to be a smooth pregnancy. When all the reports were clear and things were going forward, is when I started using the energy myself and for me and my child, programming good health, all kinds of things the way I wanted for the baby. And he's a magical 13-year-old who's fully programmed, perfectly programmed as of now. So when that happened, I realized the power of what we can do with our energy fields. So all intent, all in your field, all in your womb as a mother, what are you carrying? And my story around that, those few years, is that basically my takeaway from that piece, from that period, is that I was a low vibration individual, and this soul that wanted to come was a high vibration soul. I was not able to match it. So till I worked myself, into that range, I was not able to really host that soul as a mom because, we are chosen, right? Everything is chosen. And today, yes, that high vibration individual is my son who's 13 years old. And he really puts me through a lot of those trials and tribulations because I have to up the game all the time with him. So that's the phase of pranic healing around 2000. This happened, he was born in 2011. So that I would say is that phase where it was very, very fast spiritual growth. Very, very, like I was catapulted into that
It
range.
is. I tell you, I've been kind of spiritual my whole life, but man, I tell you, the last 5 6 years and doing Arhatic yoga and the pranic healing, it just accelerated everything. It's really quite fantastic, and I would encourage anybody that has any kind of serious spiritual aspirants to check it out. Because well, I mean that's what I do. I promote that. So, but yeah. So what happened after that? So you did your self healing, and you
Yes.
moved on a little bit.
Yes, and then I was using, for regular stuff at my work, myself. It was everything was private, and then I chanced upon angels. This is also a very interesting story because I was on a flight and my dad was in the ICU. Sudden episode of something. He was in the ICU, so I was going to see him in the hospital, and I was in a flight. And I'm doing my meditation, I'm doing my healing as we are flying. And I observed that somebody next to me, there were, I was on the aisle seat, somebody in the window looks like is doing similar stuff, somebody I have zero idea about. So when we are disembarking, I generally chat up with her and I said, I thought you were doing something which was similar to what I was meditating. Were you doing something like that? So she said, yes, I was, and I'm a healer, I'm an angel healer. I said, oh, okay. So there are angel healers? Like, what is that? So that is my first encounter, or rather serious thought on angel healing. And so when I get off the car and I'm headed to the hospital, I'm looking up angels, who to call in for my dad. And generally, I read up very quickly and I invoke and I get those guidances and I reach the hospital and he's out in the next day or so. And after that, it was a wonderful journey, exploring the angels, connecting with them. So I lose a diamond hoop. I go check on one of the angels to say, show me. And then I will get. So these kind of tricks and all the time experimenting. So I worked with angels, went in much deeper over the next few years. Then came 2019. And so 2014 till 2019, I'm doing basically all my energy work through the different other modalities that I've learned. Then comes 2019, and I end up learning theta healing, which is all about subconscious belief systems. So while I have worked with the energies till then, understanding the deeper patterns, how they impact you, is what I learned through theta healing, and I started practicing them. And very quickly in 2020, I lost my mom, and then I chanced upon Akashic records a second time in my life, because in
Sure.
2016 was another episode in our family that set me thinking, and I did get one reading done from somebody at that point. And I got an answer that was very, very proper. It was a tragic incident in our family, which set us, again questioning and asking questions. And I got a reading, Akashic reading done from a practitioner in those days. I got an answer which validated everything that one kind of thought, why would it have happened? And then comes 2020, I lose my mom very suddenly. And again, I get into Akashic reading, this time to again ask some questions. And that reading till today is on my mobile phone because I did it with another practitioner. And that reading clearly told me that I will be doing big stuff in this world. And, even when I got those answers, I was like, yeah, in the world, I know all of this, but I'm not going out in the world. I am not. I know it. I know it all. I love it. But who's going to take this responsibility of the world, right? Not ready at all. And that is 2020. And comes the pandemic. In the next, like my mom dies, and in the next 2 weeks, we hit a global lockdown. And this is the time when, till then, I had a corporate life. I was leading a life as a partner in a consulting firm, very high flying, through flying across different cities, meeting really, really top end business leaders, doing the works. And here, suddenly, the pandemic comes and we go online. And there is that time, there were so many requests because I was living in India in those days. And there were so many requests for people who were in the hospitals, they were dying. And I then had no choice but to simply come out with my talent or my skills. I started running healing circles. And we would get a whole lot of those, inputs, names we would put in the little bowl and then start healing and meditating. And that's when it just simply took off. And I kind of started getting clients. So what I did was a corporate life till 2022 in the day, and evening was a parallel full-fledged spiritual kind of a life, outreach with outside world. And then in 2022, very suddenly again, I reached the United States. We just move as a family, we get permanent residency, and we simply move within 2 months. And when I was coming here is when I realized that everything is being shown to me, that I am meant to do this. By then, I was, anyways, doing very heavy energy work, but it was all private. I had a corporate persona, so I was wondering if it is a good thing to do or how will I do it. All those questions, even though the calling was there right from within. And then suddenly, when 2022 came and the shift happened, I said, okay, let's reset and reboot, and we will start a completely afresh on all fronts. So here I am. I kind of now, then I set up a business when I came to the States. I have a small team that works with me. We run workshops. I curate my workshops. They are absolutely not off the book because I'm a natural energy channel. So I am guided when I'm developing my workshops, and I put together something that I have used and experimented, experienced, explored in my own journey. And that's what I offer to the world now.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. We, as a community, pranic healing community, when the lockdown started, Master Glenn, I don't know if you know Master Glenn or not, but he started
Yes.
these healing pods all around the world, and we were healing COVID patients, just so many different
True.
pods. I think it was like over the years, it was like 800 and something thousand sessions done with all the pranic healers in the world. And I still work in a healing pod, but thank you for sharing that part of your journey and telling us how it's very interesting, your progression. But it is time to take a short commercial break. I am Bob
Sure.
Kohler. You are watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. We'll be back with more Vandana right after this.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Bob Kolazarek. You are watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. Back with Vandana Sinha.
Thank you so much, Bob. I'm thoroughly enjoying the show.
Me too. You're making my work easy for me today, so I appreciate that. I am fascinated by your journey. I think we have a lot in common. I could just totally relate to, maybe not the Akashic records and stuff like that, but it's hugely interesting. So for the people at home, can you explain the importance of our personal energy fields and chakra systems in our daily lives? And then we can get into a little bit of your programs and stuff like that.
Absolutely. So, for everybody who's listening in, we cannot have separate lives of a personal life, a professional life, and a spiritual life. It is all interconnected through your energy fields. Who we are, we are basically pure energy fields right from the level of the DNA, which is a nice vibrating energy field, to the massive level of the soul that is at the cosmos level. So, what we see of ourselves in the physical form is a dense energy field comparatively. Then we have the mental and the emotional, and it goes on to the other layers and the other layers. And that's what it is. So basically the physical form is what, is a different project in every lifetime, in my view. So you got to do a nursery, you got to do kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, and that's how we are progressing in the journey of the soul. So every time we have to learn a new lesson, we take a new, you basically a new birth, a new incarnation. And so what's happening with us as we are picking up in every journey, whether, here in another lifetime, or even what is in our genetics and ancestry, is part of our energy field as a data point. So every thought, every emotion, every memory, every experience is all embedded in this energy field. And it impacts how we conduct ourselves, it responds to it, and it also, that's what we emit. So what we go through in our lives is all interconnected through our thoughts, emotions, subconscious belief systems. And these subconscious belief systems, again, find a trigger in a current lifetime, in another lifetime, in our childhood, in our, like, a mother's womb, or it could be even something we are carrying from our families, and it's intergenerational trauma or thought processes. It could be anything. So the basic importance, I would say, is to understand that everything, how we conduct ourselves, how we respond to situations, is all guided by our energy fields and how we respond to it. So it's extremely important, whether it's your professional life, whether you are stagnant, whether you are doing even well, but you're a great leader, possibly in some ways, and in some ways not. So all those things come into the play. It's so important to understand, and to bring it to balance, we need to understand our chakra systems. We need to understand what have we stored in our energy fields. What do we need to delete? What do we need to replace? Simple. It's like a supercomputer. So the programming has to be fine tuned all along. It's dynamic.
No, well said. I agree 100%. And I talk about that a lot about, we create our own reality with our thoughts and our emotions. We basically attract what we're emitting, right? I mean, we have that resonance. So it might not be like just we're positive thinking, but what are we really feeling inside? And, how is that really kind of putting out there? So it really, life kind of resonates to the level of where you're at internally, right?
True, absolutely, absolutely. So this is, they call the law of attraction, but basically it's nothing about attracting. That's really what you are, and that's what you're emitting. So that's what you will get.
More of a resonance, I think, law of resonance.
Absolutely. Law of resonance, I would agree.
Yeah, for sure. So how does taking this knowledge, but you build into different programs, so you have a soul blueprint mastery. Is that tied into what you're just talking about? You want to share that
Yes.
a little?
Yes. So this, basically, I've distilled my knowledge into a 3-day format to make it quick. I do also have a large format program, which is like a 12-week. So both of these are actually based on my personal experience on what I have done with myself. So, to put quickly, Soul Blueprint Mastery is a deep dive into your consciousness. So, I basically take people through a journey of activating 13 chakras. We all know of the physical chakras, the 6, 7 that we have here, but we basically have equal number literally up above in our cosmic, the field, the energy field. So the cosmic chakras are the one that open up your flow of spiritual guidance and your conduct in life in many other forms. So like one of them, is about the divine feminine, then about the divine masculine, then your soul, the higher level, higher self, connection to your interdimensional reality. We all think we are here and now, but we are actually multidimensional beings of light. So that, and the truth that we have, the ultimate truth. So when this kind of information starts flowing in, is when you start viewing yourself very differently. So, what I do is get people into this high vibration, fully activated state. And when they are there, I take them literally on a spiritual journey into their Akashic records, which is where we have all these data points, stored. It's an energetic realm where you have all this information about every soul. So you want to go into that library, open that book, and find out the answers. It's literally like that. So when you are in a very, very heightened state, you will get those answers. And we go there And how I have designed it is that we scan 12 different aspects of every individual's life. So if we are in a group setting, I am guiding it. I'm guiding you to, let's say, scan your health. And when you are there, you may have a very different knowing about your health from what you know currently. It could be something, some deep insight that you suddenly received, and knowing that you are, because you're in that high vibration state and in a place where it's spiritually, you have all the information. Or even if it is the same thing, your goals may change. So we do goal setting about 12 different aspects of your life. We are going from health to wealth to relationships. We are scanning everything that you need to lead a holistic, proper holistic life. So we do that in the second session. And the third session is focused on active manifestation. And manifestation for me and for anybody basically is when, so you've done your goals, you've set your goals yourself, and then you want to manifest it. And how will you ever manifest? You have to manifest only through a process of resonance, like you said. So your heart, your mind, and your spirit have to be aligned to that goal. And that also requires a little bit of working, so till you sense it, feel it. So I do a lot of energy clearing with my clients when they are with me in this session. And this starts like, so till you reach that state of active manifestation, I'm working with them for all those 12 different goals that they have set up. So over a period of 3 sessions, 3 days, we do these multi-level work. And at the end of it, basically, you have designed your future in your own way with some solid spiritual guidance. And each of my sessions, by God's grace, by the universe's grace, is extremely intense because I'm a natural channel, I'm spiritually guided. And when I'm flowing with my energies and when I'm talking, you enter a state which is, I should put it as rather magical. So that's what it is. So that's Soul Blueprint Mastery for you.
No, I love it. For me, how, do you teach them the importance of just being still in their everyday life, mindful, and just being present? Because my take on it, my experience is when you start just being right and just allowing yourself to be present and mindful what you're doing, you're kind of getting out of your own way a little bit about projecting your thoughts on how you think things should go. Because if you just have that mindfulness and that presence, and but you want to have that clear intention on where you want to be, but life just starts unfolding in ways that you would never expect, right? I mean, I'm doing things right now that I never would have ever guessed that I would be doing. This show being one of them. They just kind of just present itself, and it's like, yeah, that is aligned with who I am. And then people really kind of start to find their really true soul purpose in that manner, right?
Absolutely. I am fully with you on this. It's so important because initially, when you start this mindfulness journey, it may feel difficult, it may seem difficult, it may even seem trivial because we are so task oriented in our lives that we think, oh, this is not a task because you're just sitting with yourself. But the point is, when we do this inner journey, and the more you do with yourself, your outer world starts unfolding in a very nice way. And the whole beauty of it is to bring your inner and your outer to a beautiful synchronicity, right? So that what you feel inside is what you reflect outside, and then it starts flowing beautifully.
Yeah, your outer world is a reflection of your inner world, and that, right? I mean, it really is true. I found that to be the case. Um, when you're calm inside, your outer world, your life is calm.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
so how long have you been offering this Soul Blueprint Mastery? You have any kind of really good stories coming out of that?
Yes, so this we started early this year, around January is when I started it. And actually, when I put this together, I thought this was a New Year offer, so I put this together from that point of view because I did, last year I had a very long format, intense program called Clearing Pathways. But when we were heading into the new year, is when I said, let me put together something that is quick, and that is, people would be able to spend that kind of time to do it. It's like 90 minutes over into 3 days, basically. That's the kind of journey that you've got to do, but it's very intense. So very interesting. I have, immediately I had some responses with over the next few days. One person who worked with me, he said that, I have worked with many teachers, I am a heavy meditator myself, but I had a breakthrough that I didn't believe I could get. He wasn't even looking for it. So he had work flowing like anything within the next week. It started flowing from people who were out of touch for like 20 years, and then suddenly they reach out and say, okay, can you do this for me? This is an independent person who has his own business, and things started flowing. He even wrote in to say that he had a new love interest, something that again he was not looking for, and an ideal one where you spiritually align. So those are the kind of things. And another one who said he suddenly moved to the from Arizona to the East Coast, new job, everything started flowing. So a lot of shifts. And some others, I have one more person who went through so okay, interestingly, she had a knee replacement, one knee replacement a few months before this, and so she had gone through a tough time and had a second knee replacement after this course. And this time she was up and about in no time. You understand? And she was back at
Yeah,
work.
oh, for sure.
Back at work.
You know what I love about the course? It's called the Soul Blueprint, and it is a blueprint. And so it's not like this. There's work to be done. So you have to this. If you follow this, this will guide you. But you can't just intellectually just process it. You actually have to do the work and then and get into it. So it's
Absolutely.
so they take this work with them, a practice that they can develop and continue on when they're on their own.
Yes. So because I do this online, I offer this back. They take it as the recorded sessions are available with them. And they are able to, let's say, you can go back into those. They are all meditative sessions. You want to go back after a month or two, or even pick the first one where we have the chakras, the cosmic chakras, and all the activations. Just do it. Simply do it. And the second time when you do it, probably you're shifting your goals. Who knows?
Oh
You get
yeah,
it?
I mean, life is dynamic, right? It changes, and definitely goals change along the way.
Yes.
All right. Well, it is time to take another short commercial break. I am Bob Kolazarek. You're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. We'll be right back after this.
Thank
Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like it was almost instant, like I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. It feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic on the BBM Global Network, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I am Bob Kolazarek. You're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. Back with Vandana Sinha, having a wonderful conversation. Welcome back from commercial break.
Thank you so much, Bob. Thoroughly enjoying, like I said.
No, I am too, and I want to hear more about what you're doing. So you have that 3 day blueprint course, right? And so you mentioned something about a 12-week journey. Is that your clearing pathways program?
Yes. I call it clearing pathways because that's what cleared my pathway. So I call it clearing pathways. And that's again, it's a 12-week journey where we meet only once a week. It's a 90-minute session and it's a deeply cathartic session every week. And every week I have a different topic. So we do ancestral clearing, we do clearing of money energies, we do clearing, let's say, of your third eye, we are doing a Merkaba or a light body activation. We're even
I'm sorry.
dealing with
What is that?
Merkaba is your light body. The We are all meant to have a light body. It's like a tetrahedron that is moving all the time. It's your crystal grid or the light grid that we are part of. So I do that activation as well for people. And then we're looking at cellular renewal, DNA activation, even dealing with death. So 12 different topics, and they cover a different facet of your energy field. If you have cleared all these layers in depth, when you come out after 12 weeks, you are in a very, very heightened spiritual space. Because imagine the kind of gunk we have in our energy fields. I'm basically looking at clearing layer after layer, layer after layer, layer after layer. And it's pure guidance and it's
I don't mean to.
beautiful.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh, but there are so many layers, and
Yes.
Lord knows I've been through peel off layer after layer. But sometimes peeling off these layers isn't always easy, is it? I mean, there's like emotional releases and stuff that goes
Yes.
on all the time. Not just with myself, but I see it with a lot of people.
That's correct. And that's the reason I have given a gap of a week between each session because it's so powerful that you cannot do back to back 12 days. It's not possible. They have to assimilate that kind of energy. They have to be able to kind of reflect, think, maybe reach out if they need to. So that's the 12-week. And because it's like 12 weeks, I also feel that many times people may not have the interest to put in the 12 weeks. So they are all individually also, when you look at the sessions, they are complete in themselves. You want to simply do an ancestral clearing, you can sign up for just that. So when we sold it last year, obviously there were people who did all 12 and there were people who did maybe 3, there were people who did maybe 4. You're not available all 12 times, but it was a fixed day of the week, like a Thursday, or let's say 5:30 p.m. Pacific. So I'm catering to both Pacific and Eastern time zones. I have people even from Asia and Singapore and India, etc., who join my programs. So I kind of keep it around the same time, so that I have as many people who can join me for that. So that's clearing pathways, and it's really, really based on my personal clearings over the years. Though I cannot say that I've stopped my clearings, I still do a whole lot of shadow work, but it's something to begin with. And again, it's all recorded, so you have it. And you can simply redo it whenever you feel the need in, let's say, another 2 months, another 3 months. You want to revisit something, your money energies, go back and do it. So that's clearing pathways. And I now have a new corporate program called Vibecraft. It's
Yeah,
just
you
about
should tell us a little bit about that. Yeah.
Yes, I mean the principle remains the same, but I'll tell you what, I've been in the corporate life myself at senior levels, worked with leaders, have been a leader, and I personally believe that this simple thing of energy management, personal energy management, applies to anybody and everybody and can be applied in the corporate life as well. So let's say as a leader, I know my energy fields, if I used to use it, so I'm coming from there again. So I used to use it. If I have intents and I have things, my teams would perform better. And I can teach. I used to teach them. Basically my teams knew how I was, so if I tell them, and those who had worked with me for a long time, we were naturally in sync anyways. So they would pick up things from me. So it is an ideal thing to do even at an energy, at a team level. And secondly, I have a bigger thought process behind this. I believe that a whole lot of people who are in positions like that are many times very sad. They do not have the time to go spiritual, or even if they do, they are struggling sometimes. So, those, and I even think of influencers and people in public life These are the people who are actually emitting their vibrations out in the world. Their vibrations have got to be really nice and proper because you're impacting humanity with what you do and how you do it. We are creating an impact everywhere, at home, at work, and everywhere else. But people in those spheres who are living in public eye, I believe that this kind of energy management is good for themselves and good for everybody else. Because again, we are in those times, we are shifting into such beautiful times where this is going to be part of life. We can say what we can, or people can shun or not or negate these kind of talks, but we are fast and very rapidly moving into a time when spirituality will be part of life like there's no tomorrow. So it's better to learn right here, right now.
Well, it should be part of life. I mean, that's who we are. You said it yourself. We're spiritual beings, divine light, love, and power. And but we are trapped in these dense energy bodies. But you mentioned, like, I think it was the first segment, you being a corporate person, you kind of like kept it to yourself, the spiritual aspect. But I think there's probably still a lot of that out there in the corporate world today. I mean, I totally, came out and I'm a healer, I'm a yogi, and I don't think anybody from the elevator business wants to touch me anymore.
Oh, I'm your good friend there. So I do know that people are surprised. What happened to her? We didn't know her like that. And I'm like, I was always like that. It's just that I never spoke about it. It wasn't considered. Again, it's like coming out of the spiritual closet, is what I call it.
Yeah,
Like,
I call it the same thing. Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. Yes, so, but I'm embracing it with all my heart and soul, and I'm putting it out in the world because I personally believe, I've got that full corporate experience. I know how the corporate world works. I've done everything that one does. So why not translate this knowledge to that space where I came from? So it is that's how I have a vision, because also the vision is, I want to take this knowledge, as big as possible. So you spread it through, whatever channels you have, whatever channels you can think of. That's really what I believe.
So you use your intuition. You're guided. So you've kind of been guided to put this program together. So what's your guidance, and how did you break through into that corporate world with doing the energy work? I mean, I know other people are doing it with some success. I haven't personally given it a shot, and it's not on my radar at this point. But how do you approach it, or do people
Yeah.
just
So,
about it?
okay. Now, the thing is, I do have, so my corporate experience was all about running very high end workshops for C suite audience across, India. I was living in India then. And we were running retreats. We were running very, very top end, meetings where we were getting global speakers and all of that. So it's, to tell you the truth, anything that you teach has to be put in a package that is understood and palatable. Simple. So that's something that I'm working on right now. And I want to make sure that what we are talking today is easily understood, easily explained, and for people to simply use them as a tool in their lives. So I'm coming up with my workshop. I haven't really run this yet. This is the first public platform that I'm really talking of, about it. And but I'm going to go out with it very soon. So I'm active. I run it like a corporate, everything that I do. So that's really what it is.
No, it sounds great, and I wish you the best of luck. I like when I was in corporate, I was doing projects, and I would use the energy, right? So like you got to like do blessings, remove
Yeah.
obstructions. My favorite was like if I was going into like a really aggressive meeting. I was in the elevator business. I ran construction projects, always tight schedules. A lot of
Yeah.
testosterone you know and if I'm going to a meeting that's going to be a conflict, I just send blessings, love for the meetings, just and they generally would go smooth, much
Yes,
better
yes.
than so there's a
Absolutely.
lot of
It's the frequencies and vibrations we are emitting, and that's what we will, resonate with, right? So it's possible. So imagine if in a setting like that, everybody's understands a bit of this, even though they may fully or may not fully understand it. It's if they start somewhere with their personal energy management, this kind of stuff will actually answer not just their professional sphere, their personal and inner spiritual quest as well. So you bring them to that journey. I mean, I think that's my job here right now, to bring people to that platform. Not necessarily, they can begin with me and they start their journey and go whichever route they want to go, but let me introduce.
I agree 100%. I love that attitude. I can be here for a moment for you. I can give you that blueprint. I can help clear you and pat you on the butt and send you on your way. Um, as
Yes,
you continue on your path. So, I mean, I know so many people, and that's what I love about doing this show. So I get to introduce the audience to many different people, different modalities, different things. So, you choose what you want to do, because we're a team, we're a bunch of light workers, energy workers, and trying to,
yes.
bring people's light out. So, it's great to be able to share that.
Lovely. I know. I mean, what you're doing is a big job, because even, to be able to tell what you're doing, to be able to express, and that can be like relayed, people are listening, people can listen later. This availability of information itself, you're doing a big, big job to us, service to us.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's it's a growth thing because I wasn't like in the closet. If you knew me 5 years ago, there'd no way I'd be even telling anybody about my spirituality and the healer. You know, I got like, wow, somebody posted that I'm going to be hosting a meditation on twin hearts at my place. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm out now.
Yeah,
But once you come on a platform like this and you do your first show, the fear drops off, right? And then you just kind of become your true self and authentic self. And at this point, you could take me or leave me, but I'm here to try to do as much good like you on a bigger scale.
absolutely
But this
true.
is where we're guided to do, and we're kind of pulled, and these opportunities present themselves. So it's a blessing, really.
Yes, I know. I mean, I'm very grateful for everything that I'm doing. I have a vision. I'm doing it. I know it takes a bit of time, but you've got to do it, and that's all it is. And I'll be shown the way, and that's what the beauty is.
Yeah, and people might say that sounds far fetched, but there's plenty of people that been on this show, myself included, that experience that same thing. You just have to get that little paradigm, shift in your head.
Yes,
That
yes.
and but what you're doing is bringing people into themselves, into their, and then when they get that quietness and they can focus, then they're going to start becoming their true selves, and but that's the beginning of the journey. That's the,
Absolutely. Individual, that's where we begin. And if I think of it at a very, very massive scale, imagine if we are shifting the vibration, lifting and elevating people's vibration by a little bit. Everybody's by a little bit. Like if you that's what you're adding to the vibration of humanity. Think about it. And we are
no,
then elevating what we're doing at a very massive scale. That's our contribution in this place. You've just done it for me, and I could do it for someone else. And that's really what we're in for.
yeah, I agree, and I've said that on the show before that the state of the world that we live in is basically the accumulation of all of our energetic outputs.
Absolutely collective energy.
Yeah, so man, it's been a great conversation. It goes by so quick. So we got about a minute left. So how do people? I think we got a slide. We could put up some of your information, how people contact you. So,
Yes, thank you so much. I think the LinkedIn has a little bit of a spelling mistake. It should be
oh
S
my
I
gosh,
N
yeah,
A.
Vandana
Yeah,
or Vandana Sinha. I apologize. I did that in a couple places today, but it's
no.
VA Vandana Sinha. I apologize for that. But thank you so much for being on the show, and I'm going to definitely keep following you, and hopefully you'll come back again at some point.
Absolutely.
Let us know how it's going with your corporate program.
Thank you so much. I loved this. I loved being with you here on the show, Bob. Thank you for the opportunity and bless you, because you are doing a fantastic job. what you're meant to do, for all of
Um,
us.
Thank you so much. Don't make me cry.
Thank
Bring
you.
a tear to my eye. All right, so it is time to take a commercial break. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Bob Kolazarek. You're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. I'll be right back.
Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them. Rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies. Find settings that allow them to be the most productive and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Bob Kolazarek, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. I want to thank you all for tuning in to this insightful episode of our show. Today, we've had the incredible pleasure of having Vandana Sinha on the program. She is definitely an old soul and has a very impressive body of work. Her experiences with energy healing modalities like Reiki and pranic healing, discovering how these practices influence not only her life, but also the lives of many she's touched and will continue to touch. She has great big plans, and I'm looking forward to following her. So, and hopefully you'll continue to follow her on her social media. She has amazing offerings and great talent. So I would encourage you to check her out. As we wrap up, I'd like to again thank her for sharing her knowledge and experiences with us. Her passion and dedication to energy work and healing is very inspiring, and I'm super grateful for the opportunity of chatting with her. One thing I have to say, it's a shared passion, the energy work and the healing arts. I love to be able to showcase many energy healers on the show, like we were just talking about. I do lean towards my modality, which is pranic healing. And one thing that I haven't really talked much on the show is the American Pranic Healers Association. And we are quickly approaching our 1-year anniversary. And I've been with the association since its launch in September of 23 as the operations manager. And the association is really dedicated to elevating the practice of pranic healing. We've just opened up our association to the global community. Excuse me. And our association offers unparalleled networking opportunities, connecting with like-minded individuals and professionals, and access to mentorship from experienced healers. Moreover, as an association, our strength really lies in our numbers. As our membership grows, so does our influence and our ability to have pranic healing recognized as a profession. And this is a global movement, and I have every confidence that we will make that happen. So please feel free to join our anniversary, which will be on Zoom. We have Master Glenn, Master Marileg, and Master Danny for a relaxed panel conversation. They're going to share, and anytime you have a master's or any kind of master pranic healer, it's a big deal, and we are very grateful to have them. That's going to be on September 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you follow me on social media, we'll be sure to have the link for registration. But as a member of one of the association, Master Marilag has been putting on a prosperity healing to manifest goals program. It's a 4-week program. As Vandana was talking about, prosperity healing, getting rid of the blocks, anything to do with poverty consciousness. It's really a fantastic. And Master Marilag is such a powerful healer. So it's not too late to join the association if you're a pranic healer. You still have time to register for that event, and recordings of these sessions will be on the member portal until October 12th. Worthwhile, worth the investment and the joining of the association. So take advantage of that, and we're so super grateful to Master Marilag for providing this program to our members. But that is it for me. Master Marilag is starting another healing session tonight, right in 1 minute from now, and I am going to hop on that. I certainly don't want to miss it. So stay tuned for our next episode, and don't forget to follow me on my social media channels at Self Help Coaching LLC. You can also find me on TikTok and other places. There's so many channels these days. So until then, keep nurturing your energy, and remember to stay open to the pathways of transformation that life offers. Thank you for your support of the show. I will see you next week. Namaste, everyone.
This has been Greetings from the Ashram with host Bob Kolazarik. Through meaningful conversations and practical insights, this show invites you to explore the endless possibilities for personal growth, healing, and spiritual awakening. Tune in each week to discover how these practices can bring balance and harmony to your life, making it a true journey of self-discovery. Fridays, 7 p.m. on the Bold Brave TV network.